Whew, always good. Long titles here that we have here, man. Anyways, the point is, we got a great weekend of Heroes and New Earth ahead of you. Of course, the group stage is going to be wrapping up here for cycle number 5, and we're kicking it off here today on Saturday with a pretty solid matchup, if I say so myself. We have Fresh going up against Nightmare Knights here in a 2-game series that we're going to be covering. Again, 6 series in total played out today. 3 of them, of course, we're planning to cover here. May jump around depending what happens, as always, but that is the plan here. So definitely a lot of Han expected to happen over here today and tomorrow. But what a really interesting group stages it's been, and definitely shaping up to be. I mean, really, these group stages, the standings, as you see them right here, anything can still happen is pretty much what we know. So obviously looking forward to seeing how it all shapes up. This is an important series here too, because Nightmare Knights, they are 1-0-0 to start. They did defeat Mystery Gang, but they still got plenty of challenges ahead of them, being a new Diamond Division team. And it starts right here against Fresh. So that's all the storylines here. With that said, I'm Breaks to Begin. Of course, joining me today, it's GoCaster. Been joining me frequently lately. Glad to have him back again. Rick Groste, going to be back here. How's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good. Really excited to see this Nightmare Knights team. I haven't actually watched them in a game yet, so definitely excited for this.
Yeah, they played on Thursday, as I was talking about. That's right, you weren't casting that one, but it's, this is a team that they're not like a lot of these teams that may come up to Diamond Division where we don't know too much about them. Obviously, this team we know about. I mean, they got starting players, Super KG, of course. You got Shorkon, Catlamine, and then Stan and New McNew make up the 5-man roster here. We knew going into this that this is going to be a quality team of players. How does that translate? It was the question. So I will say they looked pretty good against Mystery Gang, but nothing against Mystery Gang. That's kind of the beginning of Diamond Division. So I am intrigued, as they have 6 matches themselves over these next 2 days to play. We're going to find out plenty about them here. And it starts right now. So what do you expect? Do you expect them to actually fare pretty well? Or?
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at Fresh's team. They've become a really solid roster. I mean, they've taken down ECX now. I mean, they've taken down almost everyone at this point. So I would consider Fresh a pretty good team at this point. So this will be a good matchup for them. And, yeah, those players are all pretty talented. So definitely looking forward to see how they do against Fresh.
Well, here we go. The draft, of course, well underway. So let's start getting into it. I mean, real quickly, too, again, looking at the standings, like I mentioned, Nightmare Knights 1-0-0 here. A strong start. You got Fresh as 2-1-0. They're also looking pretty strong here. Got the 7 points. Currently sitting just behind Sync Esports. But, again, there's been a mixed amount of matches that have been played. So, really, it only matters at the very end of it here. But, all right, back to the draft, though. Plenty to talk about. So we got the initial bans. We're looking at was Riptide into Tremble, Deadlift into Sandray. So you do see the Deadlift ban coming out from ProBusk. He doesn't want to have to deal with that. I feel like that's going to be something we start to see maybe a little bit more with how it's been played here on the scene. So not surprised to see it here, right?
No, definitely not. I mean, nobody wants to face the hero at this point. And even then, ProBusk took Ophelia. So kind of probably it pretty much is the reason why he did ban the hero. So.
Mm-hmm. So we got the picks now, too. The Midas first pick right away. We had Parasite Response, Behemoth into Magebane. And then we're looking at Moira into Andromeda. Is how it finished initially. The follow-up bans, and then we're looking at Ophelia to Doctor and a Dark Lady coming out as the carry for Fresh. So Fresh's lineup is good to go here. It's honestly looking like just an all-around strong lineup here. Not really a whole lot of questions. Just the go-to, powerful lineup across the board.
Yeah, that is, I want to say almost a perfect draft in terms of their heroes. Like, Behemoth Midas together is just such a powerful combination. And then the Moira with Ophelia and a Dark Lady, there's just so much going on there. So that is a team that will do very well in team fights.
Yeah. They set up very nicely here, to say the least. And again, that Dark Lady responding to a Doctor, a Pulsar, and a Mage Beam for that matter. I mean, you can consider her pretty good, actually, against both of those. So Dark Lady really was an obvious pick here almost.
Yeah, and that's going to give Mage Beam a tough time, and the Doctor. So this will be pretty interesting. It looks to me like that's going to be a mid Doctor. So this will be pretty interesting.
Well, they did last pick a Deadwood. So
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah, they're switching it up a little, but yeah, still, I mean, what does that mean though? Is that they must be going aggressive here?
Yeah, I mean, the only other way is the Deadwood suicides, which we've been seeing a lot from Zane. So, uh, I mean, yeah, this will be interesting. Okay, so we'll have to see what they do. I mean, they picked a lot of core heroes here. They have 4 cores, so should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, a lot of farm to go about. But yeah, Super KGE playing the Deadwood, so that's what leads me to believe that we really should expect him to be, honestly, in that middle role. Again, it's not 100% guaranteed, but that's why I would assume that he's going to be mid, and if that's the case, then, yeah, very likely going to see some kind of an aggressive tri-lane here coming out because of that. And actually, look at Parasite. Okay, yeah, he bought a buckler there, which is, like, unheard of on a Parasite. Then he sold it, though, and bought boots, so not sure what that was about. Maybe he thought he was playing Solstice or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they were gonna suicide the Parasite. I don't think we've seen that in a long time, but it would almost make sense this game because then they could let Doctor jungle. So, but yeah, I guess not. So
No.
actually, he still does have that ward.
Yeah, he does.
It could quite possibly be him suiciding.
No, really? I mean, that would be.
I mean, it's Shorkan on it.
Yeah, he has a little bit of jungle in him, I feel like. But no, you're right, though. He also suicide. It seems like that is his. Man, you might be right here.
Yeah, I think okay. So they're gonna let the Doctor jungle. No, he placed the ward. I don't know what they're doing. They're confusing me. Please stop, Shorkan.
Well, I mean, you look at Doctor's items. This is not a laning Doctor repulsor.
I don't know. It's not even a jungle Doctor repulsor.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know is that a second support Doctor?
Oh my gosh, you might be right. Actually, that might be the answer here in the end. Wait, that wouldn't make sense because oh my god, what is going on?
They're abandoning bot lane at this point in time.
So they're dual jungling, and their jungle.
Okay.
This is what it looks like.
You know what? They're a new team in terms of Diamond, and they can really surprise some teams at this point because nobody would have expected this. But okay, abandoning bot lane.
Yeah, this is something different. Yeah, you know, it is interesting. I've talked to Shorkan about this and had him on recently. He did make the point, like, they're not necessarily very practiced. They haven't had a whole lot of time to scrim with one another as of late. So, you know, busting out a crazy strategy like this, though, I would think that at least they've had a little bit of practice with it because you don't double jungle a Doctor and a Parasite in the same jungle without at least kind of trying it out. I mean, this is just so odd. So yeah, banning the bottom lane, Darkwood is going to get absolute free farm. How is this going to be accomplished? Like, what is going to happen from this? What is the logic behind it, you feel?
Well, now Shorkan is going bottom.
Okay.
So maybe they just wanted to get him level 2?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so he is bottom. Okay, so he is suiciding. It's just, I guess they wanted him to have that first camp to get level 2, but level 2 really won't save him, but yeah, and this camp's blocked. Okay.
Oh, that hurts, yeah. Now, obviously he can't level 1 deny. I mean, that was taken away a long time ago. You know, when that was the case, look at this right here, by the way. That's going to be big. He steals the Vulture Lord from Ophelia, so nice job from Parasite actually getting the Striders early. Maybe that was the plan. Get the Striders early and then start to harass Ophelia.
Yeah, and maybe just have him in the jungle the whole time, and that would be definitely a good decision. It's going to give Ophelia a rough time here, but and they could probably set up ganks in this behemoth pretty easily in mid, so this is pretty interesting, but it seems to be almost-ish working. Because, I mean, I don't think Fresh expected this.
No, there's no way.
I don't think anyone expected this.
No, there's no way they would have sat here saying, "Oh, that's right, let's go the double jungle Parasite Doctor." And yeah, no, that's not happening. Now when he gets level 3 right here, which should be in a creep or two, he will be able to deny his own creeps. Is that impactful? Would you say? Like, is that actually? Could that really be a solid thing in this lane? It's actually top lane minus. Yep, he is going to go down. Bloodlust kill in favor of the Hellborn team. Doctor actually got pretty low right there, but he manages to escape. Of course, a haste rune helping with that. So big rune control sets up a Bloodlust kill here for Doctor. But yeah, Parasite with the now being able to deny his own creep, is that going to be an issue, or will that not really play a huge role here?
I don't think it'll play the biggest role in the world. Yeah, it does. It hurts lane control a little bit, but it's not going to be like the biggest game-changing thing in the world. Actually, he's going to get harassed right here. and they could pretty much kill him. Dark Lady really just needs his phase boots, and that's a pretty dead parasite. So look for as soon as Probus finishes to get a kill here on this parasite.
You look at the buckler he has. So, yeah, that was not a mistake in the beginning of the game. He was actually deciding how we wanted to ultimately lane this with the items, and, you know, he did choose to go the boots. We saw the striders, and now he does buy a buckler eventually. So, but seeing a buckler on him, I don't know if he plans to turn that into anything. I mean, getting it fairly later on, I guess, is still pretty good for the laning phase right here, but you see he's going to take over the Hell Cannon and kind of use lane control that way. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff happening. Top lane, Midas is going to be fine here, but heavily pressured once again. All right, so that's we're having fun down here, but there are other things happening. Let's take a look here. What's happening elsewhere? Middle lane, Behemoth versus Deadwood is seems like it's pretty even actually. 19-7 Deadwood, 19-5 Behemoth, so very, very even back and forth here. Would that be expected?
Yeah, I think the heroes can compete pretty well with each other. So, but I do feel like this benefits the Legion team a little bit. I mean, a Behemoth with an early portal key is going to cause a lot of issues. Oh, but mid lane.
Yeah, they're going to go for the gank right here. Andromeda running in. She's getting kind of blocked by Doctor, but it doesn't really matter in the end. She was having a little bit of trouble getting around there. Doctor no boots, while Andromeda did, but it obviously, again, didn't matter. The Rotten grasp too long, and then the Comet stun to follow to set up that kill. So this jungle Doctor actually is paying off pretty well. He's come now from the jungle to both the top and the middle lane here to set up ganks, actually. So gotta say, this early strategy, whatever it is, it's working actually for Nightmare Knights.
Yeah, I really have never seen a Doctor roam like this, but he's really just making it count with his roams. Like 2 roams, and he's got a few kills out of it. So credit to him for playing so aggressively.
Yeah. Now, Dark Lady, of course, is having a great time at 340 gold per minute currently. Granted, actually, Mage Bane is slightly better, but of course he does have the assist that benefits there. But that's definitely the saving grace for Fresh right now is, you know, Dark Lady again, having the strong time, and Probus, the one playing it here. Now, Midas, again, is heavily pressured, is going to be forced out, and actually, Mage Bane, if he keeps, he could possibly, yeah, he's just going to chase him down, actually. The boots are enough to kill him in the end. So, Mage Bane, level 6 now, and 390 gold per minute now on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty far Mage Bane, 1-0-1 already, plus doing very well in the CS category. So, Callow Main really doing well right now. And, I mean, obviously his hero doesn't do as well against Dark Lady in a 1v1, but if he gets ahead of the Dark Lady, it could be a different story.
Yeah. There we go with their Ghost Marches purchased on Dark Lady, but you see Parasite now, he's over at the Ancients, granted, not going to be doing them, just simply stacking them. He's going for the bottom rune, is going to grab it before Moira's Illusion can take care of it. Top rune is the Illusion. We'll see if Deadwood perhaps gets up there. Looks like he's got the position and is going to make his way over. So not necessarily a huge kill rune, unfortunately, but going to get some nice bottle regen, of course, and that'll be the good news here. But Sasuke as that middle Behemoth, you expect him to pretty much go straight in the portal key. Is actually, here we go on a Behemoth. Speaking of him, he's going to Shockwave before the Willowmaker goes off, and Deadwood's in trouble. Deadwood's going to fall, and now here's Parasite. He's also in trouble. Midas and Moira talking about being here at the right time. The Ballista will save Parasite right here as Doctor is nearby, but he is now level 6, so can't chase, although he hits it right there. But, yeah, they're a little too far away now. But beautiful turn. Great job with the Shockwave, preemptively expecting them to go on him.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly. As soon as Deadwood was going to get that punch off, and it bought him just enough time for Midas and Moira to get there. So, and yeah, and he ended up living out of all that too. So, definitely good for that.
But yeah, going back to the Behemoth, speaking of him, it's, again, he's playing more of this, ideally somewhat of a farming role in the middle lane here. Do you expect him to kind of be in the middle for the whole time and eventually farm his portal key, or should he move around, or what?
No, I'd like to see him stick in the mid lane. Oh, that finally happened.
Yeah, it was a matter of time, as you were saying earlier.
So, yeah, definitely a good kill. They kind of needed that kill, and they're going to get this tower as well.
Ooh. Denied attempts. Coming up short there for Andromeda.
Yeah, but as I was saying about the Behemoth, yeah, I'd like to see him sit mid. I'd like to see him actually go some build up before going the straight portal key, maybe like a Grave Locket. He did go power supply, so that's good. But maybe like a Grave Locket or something into a portal key and And he has a lot of mana in these team fights, and he'll be level 11-ish probably around the time they have their first team fight. So
Yeah.
Definitely be very impactful.
So, as amusing as this whole Parasite idea was of the strategy, having fun with it early on, he is falling behind. He's level 5, which I guess isn't horrific, but he's only 130 gold per minute currently, and I do feel like Parasite is a hero you want to get a good start on with farm. Sure, his skill set does allow for some decent burst, but man, getting that early puzzle box especially is so strong. Don't expect that though. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he just not even goes puzzle box this game, because it's just not that kind of game for him. Being able to get sustained farm. Like, do you think he should try to get it still, or could he maybe try to get more of an aggressive early build here? He dies again.
Yeah.
Middle lane, by the way, they're going on to Behemoth. Behemoth is going to fall. Moira goes down as well, so that did start with the Rotten Grasp right there. And then Doctor followed it with Andromeda nearby. They end up getting a 2-kill at the middle. So at least some exchanging going on in their favor even, despite Parasite dying at the bottom lane.
Yeah. And Major just bought one of his swords, so he's only about 1,100 off from this Runed Axe, and he's going to get it relatively early because he went Red Boots into Cleaver, so this will be pretty interesting to see how fast he gets this Cleaver, because he will ramp ahead of this Dark Lady.
Those couple of kills, though, for Dark Lady are definitely paying off big time, and you do see the GPM quite a bit ahead of Mageman right now, and it is definitely because of that. I mean, Mageman was higher up until those kills started happening. Actually, speaking of Mageman, Fissure Stun coming out. I don't know if it's enough damage. Yes, it is. The Shockwave secures it in the end. It was getting a little skeptical there for a second, but never mind. The Shockwave goes off, and down goes Mageman. So they were just saying that he's working towards a fast Rune Cleaver. Does mean he is pretty squishy. It's all there.
Oh, more action.
The top rune, nice block. Well, not really nice block, actually. I guess that hurt them more so. And Moira's going to be picked off in the end. You see Midas getting away, as Dr. Repulsor will also fly away. Bottom lane, Dark Lady's chasing. Now, Ophelia's Touch was used right here. I think it was for maybe that middle exchange going on, as Dark Lady is going to fall back, though, before she does get turned on. So, okay, the big picture. I think the Legion team fairly happy with the exchange in the end. Of course, Mageman gets killed.
Yeah, especially Mageman being killed. That's a very big kill, because now this Dark Lady could finish his Rune Cleaver before Mageman did, and Mageman rushed it. So if that does happen, this will just cause more problems for this Hellborn team. Because now Probus is also one sword off, but he also has the Phase Boots. So he's about 1,000 gold ahead of Cat Lo Main at this point.
So let's go back to the Parasite, though. Again, it's even more so now. He even got another death that's kind of brought, or I guess no, he's still in 2 deaths, so never mind. But he is still struggling, only 150 gold per minute barely now. So yeah, do you see him still going for maybe something like that puzzle box, or should he try to go for early, like an Alex even, or just some kind of an earlier involved build?
I'd like to see him go like kind of the supportive build, like maybe the Abyssal into like a Bulwark or something, get some team fight items, because a puzzle is not going to be too impactful this game because he won't be able to get it, and it's just not worth it. So yeah, I'd like to see him go for an Abyssal. I mean, Mageman's going to thrive off of it, so just more the supportive build.
Yeah. How much is a full? It's 2,700 for a full puzzle box. So I guess that's not too crazy.
Yeah,
to be able to get.
He is going to go for the puzzle. He just bought a bolstering armband. It's just the level 1 is pretty weak.
True.
And then level 2 is just it's okay. Like, it's almost worth its item value. But then level 3 is where it shines. So
yeah,
it is a lot of gold invested into that item.
No, that's fair. Yeah, it's 2,700 for the basic, but then 1,350 each level. So yeah, it adds up quite a bit right there. But yeah, as you pointed out, he is still going to be going for it. So we'll see how he is able to evolve with that puzzle box. Now, we'll say Super KGE getting a portal key right here is, of course, great news for this Hellborn team. He has 350 gold per minute. He's been doing a great job and actually just bottled up a double damage rune. So this is a prime time right now to try to make a play. Unfortunately for him, Dark Lady is falling back from the bottom lane as he heads over here. So Dark Lady's going to be fine for now. Andromeda is scouting out, and another Velderot Doctor. They may catch her, actually. Here we go. Comet stun. Yep, she did just use charging strikes as well. That's an easy kill in the end. So, great find onto Dark Lady. She will stay away from the Rune Cleaver for now. Meanwhile, top lane, Magebane again, though, goes down. So just when you're a little bit excited, your own carry dies, and it kind of takes away a little bit from it.
Yeah, I mean, the only positive there for Cat Main was, and top lane again.
Yeah, they're going. Moira, nice run grasp, but Moira will get the Arcane Vortex off. And I don't think Deadwood's getting out of this one. He has no support whatsoever coming in. It is all him. And there's no way he's getting from the onslaught of creeps and heroes that are here. So not only a kill onto him, but very likely a tower kill on top of that. So yeah, the overall, it's definitely going to work out a little better here for Fresh in the end.
Yeah, definitely. And that's going to put this Behemoth even closer to his portal key. And that's going to be very impactful because he is going to be level 11. Actually, he just got 10, so. But he will be 11 probably around the time he gets portal key to bot lane.
That's a dead Shorkon again. And yeah, again, I'm all for innovation and everything, and it was fun to see. And the very early was kind of working, it seemed like. But now's where you start kind of going the hindsight route now and being like, okay, it's not been working here. Top lane, Magebane. Nice swap from Andromeda is going to save Magebane in the end. Of course, Andromeda may fall, but she did her job, so good job by her using that ultimate. And she's buying plenty of time, actually. Finally will go down. Deadwood going in there, but he didn't have a Willowmaker, so couldn't really make a play onto anyone. He actually still has a double damage rate. It's going to be popped right here in a couple of seconds. There we go. But the momentum's starting to be picked up by Fresh here. You can just see as soon as they started grouping up with 4, letting Dark Lady farm, it's the pressure started to be had, and they have a strong teamfight team around this Dark Lady. That's very clear.
Yeah, and I mean, if Dark Lady can get a Firebrand and just build his Shrunken, they can just go fight as soon as possible, and they can just win the game very early, or they can choose to even farm out this game because I mean, they will outcarry them. Dark Lady can outcarry a Dark Lady, and I mean a Doctor Repulsor and a Magebane, so. Should be, it's kind of their call if they want to keep farming or if they just want to get a couple items on this Dark Lady and start forcing.
Middle lane, Deadwood and Andromeda are here. Andromeda does have a swap back up, but she is going to need to get back. Moira going in with the illusion, but is not going to be able to get anything off as they killed the 2 quickly. So the tower will go down, though. You mentioned the Firebrand for Dark Lady. There's the Quick Blade purchase, so Probuska is going to be going right into it, feeling good about her chances here. Dr. Repulsor does pick up the Glowstone, and he also has the Ring of the Sorcery, so of course that Icon of the Goddess is coming up right here at least. And then again, you look at Parasite. He is still a little bit off that level 1 puzzle box even. Is going to attempt to farm in the jungle currently. But here we go with some more interaction. Going to be found by Ophelia. He does have some team. Oh, that's an illusion. Never mind. So maybe not as good as I thought. Dr. Repulsor, he runs right into Behemoth, and the Shockwave will finish him off. Parasite went in with a face hug, but he was just a second too late. And he, too, is going to go down. So it just gets worse, unfortunately, for this Hellborn team. And now Fresh has definitely found a groove here.
Yeah, they pretty much survived the initial onslaught that this Hellborn team was going to give them, and now this Parasite's proven to be pretty, almost useless at this point. It just can't do anything anymore. It was definitely a good idea, but it's just laning against a Dark Lady. He can just die repeatedly, so definitely a good try at, trying to make something work, but yeah, now they have this portal key on the Behemoth, level 11. It's going to just get worse and worse.
There goes the secondary tower even, so now we're looking at a 5,700 gold lead here, and double stack Ancients. Going to be stolen by Dark Lady in the meantime. There we go, the Firebrand purchase as well. It is just excelling big time. So Magebane, we do know this is a scary potential carry hero, but is now 150 GPM really behind the Dark Lady, and it's hard to say if that's going to be changing or not with the momentum that we're seeing here coming out from Fresh currently. But there are some decent items coming. That level 1 puzzle box is ideally going to be finished here coming up shortly for Parasite. And then you got the icon like we're talking about on Doctor. Mentioned a level 11 Deadwood. So there is still definitely hope here for the Hellborn side. And if now they can survive what is clearly a turn here for Fresh, then by all means a late game. There is potential, but it's gonna be on this really next 5 to 10 minutes here to kind of see where the pace of this game goes now. Is Fresh going to keep it up? I feel like we've been kind of asking that a bit lately. Yesterday we found that asking that several times, I feel like, in that BMG versus Fresh series. Now it's up to Fresh. Are they going to be able to keep this going now with this early momentum that they have all of a sudden? That's kind of the question here. So Dark Lady, I wonder when she is going to feel comfortable again kind of grouping up and looking to make some pushes here. Do you think she's going to maybe go the Shrunken Head route next? Or
I don't think so, knowing Pro Bus style. I think he will finish the Frostburn first. But I would actually like to see him just go straight into Shrunken because they could really force some fights here. And there's not much Hellborn can do about it. Magebane can't fight this early. So if they just start keeping the pressure up now, it'll just only get easier for them late game as well.
Yeah. Deadwood, he's okay. He's going to fall back. Super KG up here. He wanted to farm up a little bit. If he stayed around maybe 5 seconds longer, he probably would have been jumped here. So that's good for him. However, he is still hanging around as if he may want to go, but that would be risky. And as we see, I mean, he could probably kill the Midas by himself. Lands that Rotten Grasp especially. However, it's as we see on the minimap, Behemoth and Ophelia are right here. So it's just a matter if he picks up on that. Although Magebane now may bait this out. There we go. The jump on to Magebane. Can Devil come here in time? Andromeda is there to swap. And down goes Midas in the background to Deadwood. Magebane was able to blink out in time as well. He got damn low, but not low enough. Andromeda is going to fall. But again, doing her job at least. Magebane continuing to fall back. Ultimately will survive. But the 1-for-1, a Midas for Andromeda. Unfortunately, it's also Parasite added in there as he felt the bottom lane to Probusk. While that was happening yet again, I feel like, yeah, he's 0-5-0. That's not a Parasite stat you're looking to get in a game.
No. And he's just, he did go for that puzzle box, or still going for the puzzle box, but, look at that 1,500 gold being invested in Abyssal, and it might be a little more beneficial because they know these fights are coming. They need to expect it from this Legion team. They're going to want to force, so.
Yeah, it does seem like it's going to be for naught at this rate, unfortunately, but still going to try to grind it out here. His Shortcon is there we go. He actually, again, does get to level 1 now, finally, and coming up to really 20 minutes into the game here, so very, very late puzzle blocks, but as you were talking about, I mean, puzzle box 1, sure, it's something, but it's not really what you want it to be. You need at least level 2. Of course, level 3 for its maximum efficiency here. Bottom lane, Deadwood. He is coming in with a Veiled Rod. It looks like Andromeda is as well. So they're trying to bait out this Parasite here at the bottom. They may get something. Midas, looked like he was thinking about heading down here, but kind of changing his heart a little bit. And, oh, no, he is continuing to go now. So maybe there is a chance here. You see Shortcon in that Warlock acting like, oh, yeah, just farming away by myself. Yeah, they're going to jump him here. Nope. Oh, Midas pokes in. He doesn't go. Deadwood, though, catches, but what an Arcane Vortex right before he died. And actually, never mind. He is still going to die. Meanwhile, Behemoth will jump in, though. Andromeda caught in the front line. She is going to fall. The cover of darkness was used here, by the way. You can see the Hellborn team. They're scattered, and that's what it does, man. It really causes chaos in those fights. So they only lost Andromeda, and they killed Midas. So actually, in the end, it works out again, barely, for Nightmare Knights.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, this Dark Lady is 200 GPM over the Magebane at this point, so. And almost actually does have his Shrunken with going the Frostburn, so they could just group up and take these last 2 towers and then Kongor afterwards.
Yeah. You see Dark Lady, though, again, now over 200 gold per minute higher than the Magebane, unfortunately, so. Yeah, again, he still got fresh in a very good spot, as you mentioned. The Frostburn and that Shrunken Head now even in the works. He's going to have the Shrunken at the same time as Magebane, really, with one other full item on top of that. So, Alkbone's being worked on by Midas, by the way. So, the puzzle blocks that took a while here for Parasite to get here, a very late one, is going to be somewhat countered now by this Midas, unfortunately.
Yeah. And something else I just noticed. Magebane chose not to max his Q.
He did this last time he played Magebane. I remember we talked about this, yeah.
Because, I mean, I kind of like it being maxed now. I mean, maybe before because it was just able to set mana cost, but, I mean, it goes up a lot now. It's a pretty big difference from level 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. So, it just seems weird to me. I mean, I get not leveling E, that makes sense to me, but not so much the Q.
Well, it is interesting because... yeah, it's the way it works now. It is more of a later game. It's like better in the later game because of the percentage base now. you could say. So I think that's kind of his logic. It's like he's not going to level up. It's actually top lane. Dr. Repulsor getting jumped by Dark Lady. Dark Lady, though, getting hit by Deadwood, but it doesn't matter. Pops a Shrunken and just keeps going at it. So Deadwood has to fall back despite his best efforts right there. And obviously that's where Dark Lady is at. She's able to jump a Dr. Repulsor and kill him pretty quickly. Again, those Dark Blades. And this even goes back to the draft a little bit. We mentioned they had a Mage Bane and a Dr. Repulsor, and it just seems so obvious for Fresh right here to pick up the Dark Lady. It was the perfect finish, really, for them, as she's definitely considered somewhat of a counter to both of those heroes with the powerful silence she brings and the amp damage. So. But yeah, Mage Bane, it is interesting seeing this go build. Again, the stats. He did this against Mystery Gang, it was on Thursday as well. Same style. Oh,
okay.
Parasite again.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's just, now it's just the point where this Dark Lady is just too far ahead. I mean, he's 700 GPM right now, so it's getting a little bit out of hand here.
Kind of been feeling that way 24 minutes in. Yeah, they're going to be pushing into the base, in fact, so... You got Nightmare Knights. Now, Shrunken Head just finished on Mage Bane. So may feel a little comfortable about trying to take a fight right here. And I think it's safe to say they don't want to give up Arax by any means. Dr. Repulsor, he comes in. Mage Bane following. There's the big Shockwave counter, though, from Behemoth. Ophelia's Touches also used that quickly kill, too. Parasite staying dead throughout all this. Mage Bane, he does get a Mana Rift off, but a really weak one at that. Doctor buys back, coming back in. Behemoth made a fall right here, but he's already done his job. You can say Mage Bane goes down as soon as the Dark Blades come out from Dark Lady. Look at the cleanup here. It's basically a genocide. Several buybacks happening, including Mage Bane buying back here again, or actually for the first time himself. But yeah, double tap for Probusk. And this is going to be a set of racks here in Fresh's favor. So if it wasn't over before this fight, it's probably getting to that point now of being over here.
Now it's a 300 GPM lead, so it's pretty brutal at this point.
Sorry,
I sent him back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I always get confused by that. Like, whoa, he's going ballsy. Okay, never mind, he's back.
And he's gonna have a wing bow relatively soon as well. I mean, they could just go take Kongor and even give the token to Midas or something. So, I mean, there's just yeah, it's just pretty hard to come back from this. I mean, an 800 GPM Dark Lady is pretty unstoppable, especially when it's against two heroes that it already counters.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the Moira versus a Dr. Repulsor, to be honest. I mean, they picked a Doctor in the Moira. I mean, that in itself, it's not like you never should do that, but you know, that is a little bit of Moira's pretty good against a Doctor, so you might want to think about that at least. And clearly, didn't scare him enough here.
This kind of seems like the Nightmare Knights of, well, we don't really, I don't want to say like they don't know how to counter other heroes, but we just want to play our comfort heroes. This is what we want to play.
Yeah.
So we're going to pick it into whatever you pick. That kind of seems like what their logic was here. Because yeah, they counterpicked themselves. They allowed this to happen in all honesty. So, I mean, they should have expected it.
Yeah, and then of course you look at the other side of it too. You got to give all the credit in the world to Probusk as the captain and the drafter here for the Legion side. You know, he picked up on these things. Again, that final pick, Dark Lady. It's not like it was the very genius by any means, but it was the solid pick and the very, you know, almost the obvious one. He made it happen. So it really has all come together here for Fresh, and that on top of just this odd laning phase as well. Dr. Repulsor is going to try for a steal right here, but he gets stunned immediately. Dark Lady picks up the token. In the background, they do kill Moira at least, I guess, but you know, that's definitely a victory for Fresh here, of course. And we'll see how they continue from this now, if they choose to try to push it right away or maybe wait it out a little bit here. But Nightmare Knights, it's just fallen further and further behind. 780 gold per minute Dark Lady now here coming up. 8, 1, and 7 hero kill stats in his favor currently. Probusk, or not Probusk, but Parasite does have a level 3 puzzle block, so there is something at least they got to work with. But again, the Alk Bones and Midas, so already having a way to effectively deal with that here on the Legion side. So not really that big of an impact, unfortunately.
Yeah, just too little, too late.
You got Mage Bane. He's trying to work towards a Firebrand now. You see Veiled Rod action, so clearly Nightmare Knights is making a statement that they're not going to give up, at least just yet. Trying to make a play here at the top lane. We'll see how far this comes. Charging Strike's just used by Dark Liddy, but again, I don't know if that's really a big deal. Mage Bane is going to jump here. There's another Shockwave, though. Cover of Darkness is out, and you just look at the Legion team, or the Hellborn team more so. Again, they're really scattered now. It does wear off eventually, but Deadwood's on the run. The Arcane Vortex locking down Mage Bane, and he is going to go down as he comes out. Let's make it a hat trick for Probusk. And I'm expecting the GGs here.
Yeah, I mean, the closest thing they got to kill was the Ophelia, and still alive, so it's just, yeah. There's just not much you could say. I mean, oh, there goes Dark. Oh.
Doctor's flying through, and then the concede bow comes out. Oh, it gets you to just before. All right, GG, well played. Game 1 will go to Fresh here. Again, an interesting series, or an interesting game for that matter, indeed. It's we're looking forward to seeing Nightmare Knights here throughout this whole weekend. Plenty of matches to play and how they do in Diamond. You know, they're a very, very early start, a very unique laning phase, and it kind of looked like things could somewhat work, but then it didn't. Then it didn't, and the very sound lineup of Fresh ultimately came through in the end. Final thoughts for Grosta?
Just very good drafting by Probusk. I mean, he picked everything that needed to be picked, and pretty much won at the draft, and then just played well. So
that's going to be a fun one. Having Shorkon on again as co-casting here again. This is definitely going to be a game to highlight here. The 0-7-0 Parasite performance, not one of his better days. That's for sure. So
maybe he'll show it to us again this game and see how it does.
Yeah, no. It's obviously that was definitely didn't go as planned. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it continues throughout the week, and I'm sure much better for him at least. And how Nightmare Knights does, well, that's up to be determined. But game number 2, we'll start with that, as we're going to be casting them, of course, here in the second one now. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We got that game number 2 coming up here. Cycle number 5 action, group stages. Game number 2.